Well, there we go. Now we can set this on, although, it might get into some heating issues. But this is my LG V20 and I'm still using it after, 5 years or something? Well, this is not my first LG V20. But it is a model that is, I think, around 5 years old or something like that. And I was hanging on to my old LG V20 for as long as I could. That really didn't work out. Um, I ended up ordering another LG, but because of all this and all that, and sadly the Linux phones, I was really looking forward to the Linux phones, but they were just not there. I say the hype was Linux mobile that is furthest now is the Pine phone. I was looking into the other Linux model, but clearly it wasn't ready when they said it would. Oh, let's see here. Now I have a Frankenstein mobile somewhere. I got a good question. I had 20, but it has issues. It's a Frankenstein mobile. It's I tried to order another LG model and I got it, but this has the old motherboard. Move um, move applications from one to the other. Um, I jailbroke it, but every time you jailbroke one of these Android mobiles, they become unstable and sick. Sadly, you always end up with issues. Sadly, I never had a rooted Android phone, and it took a long time to get the data over to it, and then the screen broke within a week. I had to send it back to Germany, then coming back, and it took a little longer the second time, but the screen broke as well. And the small drops, small last bit off, and and it broke. And the other, it was actually connected to a wire. It dropped from the table and it swang with the wire, and then it dropped to the floor where there was actually a carpet thing on, and it broke. Now, the LG V20, I've never had a broken it in regards to the LG V20. And, you tend to, you know, uh, drop the mobile here and there. That's just how it is. And my LG, it's really surprising that my LG V20, my old phone, I had it for so many years, and the um, and it never broke by dropping. Now it had all the yeah. So I had used it for a lot of years, and it was pretty good, and it is good. It's still, I think, the best mobile really to get. Now, after having the Shift 6 MQ for around a year, I ended up getting sick and tired of breaking the screen, and I tried to order another phone, an LG V20. I used it for getting, I jailbroke it so I could use applications to move the things from one mobile to another mobile. It's just, it's incredible how much time wasting it is. It's really disgusting how they do anything and everything to make it harder for us to do what we really want with digital things, and it's just been ongoing since. The machine was just running stable. It didn't have all these ads, it didn't have spyware, it was just running. It was just doing what you expected to do. There wasn't really much improvement that you could do. There was room for some improvement, but overall it was wonderful. I had Windows 2. much as home. And I wish I could, well, I guess I could buy an old computer, and it would have been nice if someone would be making like a small model with Windows 2000, and just a, it shouldn't be, and just a small thing, and make a, that would be amazing, with your sit-around drive, and maybe a floppy drive, needing to be that big, just have the latest and greatest that the Windows 2000 could run, that could be pretty awesome to put that together. And because it was wonderful, it was running so good. Anyway, but Microsoft never made anything better than Windows 2000. Sadly, it was only 62 stopped. It's very sad, because Windows 2000 was the best of the best. Those were the good days, Those were the amazing days. And yeah, I'm really sad that I threw out my Windows 2000 machine out. No, it was still running, it was still stable as a rock. Because you could still sit and do, what you need to do on a computer. You might not be able to play the, games, but I don't play games anyway, pretty much. At least much more seldom than in the past. I use it for, if I'm going to make some HTML in regards to our website or something like that. And you could. It was an amazing. I wish someone would make like a little Windows 2000 machine and boost it to the max, and that could have been amazing, and just have applications for it and all that, yeah. In any case, I ordered some batteries from Russia. When I, after the Shift 6MQ phone and breaking a second time, and I ordered an LG V20, much like my past LG V20. And I didn't want to root it, because again, rooting it just Android 8, because with Android 8 there's some issues that wasn't on Android 7. So I guess it's just, hey, just buy something new, right? But it was born with Android 7, There was a lot of updates as well for it in regards of Android 7. And people, it tend to break here and there, and it's not the, but it's at least possible to get access to some other things. So that's great, and have a backup or whatnot, or on my standard. This, there are some good features on Android 8, but really, it seemed to be running better on Android 7, although I don't know in regards of the updates and all that, but it seemed to be, but in any case, and you can of course do that by applications and all that. I got a charger for it, a new charger. I did have the old chargers, but they had issues in regards to charging from the battery thing and all that. Apparently they tend to become worse and worse. I don't know, but in where you need to check this and do it multiple times. I don't know if it's the connectors or what, but anyway, I got a new one and that worked with it, and I found some batteries I knew that I liked with this plastic cover above it, and 6,400 milliamps was the usual thing. That's a wonderful. It's not too heavy or anything like that, but 8,200 milliamps I think it is. It's although a little somewhat heavier, a little to the become any bigger in volume, and still it's still more power. And so I tend to use those 8200 milliamp batteries. Although I think they are maybe a little too heavy for, you know, I like the 6400 or something of that. But anyway, I could get it from Russia. I think it was a Russian source that I got them from. But again, that might be a little troublesome and with the war and all that going on, and who knows. Um, I bought 4 batteries, two with 6,000. Well, we'll see if it takes a hold. It took a hold. I don't know if it actually how the connection was before, but it should be better now. But the radiation is much worse with 4G compared to 3G. And so usually I only run 3G, but I didn't really feel bad in regards to my head. So maybe I'm going to feel bad now in regards to having trouble thinking and all that. But there's much more radiation with 4G compared to 3G. It's incredible how but anyway. So the LG V20 is pretty good mobile still to do, and you can still record calls, which you can't do after Android 8. And if you want, you needed to have rooting it, and if you root it, you get all these issues. So, but yeah, I got 4 batteries for it, bigger than the standard batteries. I got it said it was pretty. Well, it was as new. I don't think it was new, but it looked new. I think they're really good at and it looked new. So I don't expect anything to really be new, um, but yeah, it looks pretty good. And the thing with this phone is that you can drop this phone without breaking it. It has, we already know what the issues is with this phone. There's some ghosting on the phone and all that, but you can really, you get used to that. In the beginning, you get kind of annoyed that you paid a lot of money for something that just makes ghosting on the screen after around a year. And they didn't see any problem with that, apparently. The company, LG. So they apparently just thought it was more normal that a screen goes with ghosting. Oh, the Shift 6 MQ also did ghosting as well. The second screen that lasted a little longer began to ghost as well, and that wasn't even a year either. So it's incredible, But in any case, at least this screen doesn't break. I haven't broken it. I've dropped it multiple times. Like the other one, this one seems to be lasting pretty good. It just doesn't break as easy. It's keeping up. A lot of the phones out there just apparently just break so easily. The LG V20 was not made to break, apparently. It really stands. As long as you're not from but standard drops and all that, no problem, it seems. I'm sure you can probably hit something wrong or something like that, but overall, from what 4 or 5 years, years of using the LG V20 here and there and all that, I think it's a pretty solid mobile in regards to drops. It seems to be pretty good in regards to that. You also have SIM card, you have the jack stick, you have changeable battery and all that. You have a pretty good speaker. It's not like you can really tune the speaker if you have this application, but you need to have a rooted phone for that, and what was it called, Viber 4 or something like that. Amazing application for sound. You could tune anything, and in regards to the volume and multiple things you could just tune. It was just amazing. But with some of the sound application, you can still boost the volume so the speaker, so you can get most out of the speaker anyway. So the speaker is not that bad either. I found on the Shift 6MQ, I couldn't hear what it was too low, and I couldn't hear what people were saying either. I had really, and I don't usually use the mobile like this. I use it like talking to it, and the speaker and all that. I couldn't hear people speaking. It was just, it's terrible. And of course, the LG V20 have no issues in regards to that. Although the speaker could be louder. So there's problems in regards of heating, problems in regards to the LG V20. It is getting older for sure. But yeah, it's I tend to not like recording and uploading at the same time. It usually at some point gives you a warning that it's overheating and all that, and then it closes down. That's of course sad. And it's the same thing, if I recall, recording 60 frames per second and all that, which it can do, and that's wonderful. If you're recording 720p with 60 frames per second, that's great. But yeah, after LG V20, there hasn't been a phone that I really wanted. Google Android made it so you couldn't record calls. So that's a feature out the window. Of course, the big companies and the state and government always want to be able to record us, right? But we are not allowed to record them, so we can catch them in anything when they, say something else than they did last time and so forward. We shouldn't have any record on anything, right? So, and it's pretty useful to have a recording of a call, and it's not illegal. So, but apparently Android, Google didn't want us to have that feature anymore, so that was thrown away. Let's see here. And then of course mobiles don't, most mobiles you can't change the battery either. And you don't have a SIM card, and you don't have a jack stick, and so forward. That's the three standard things a mobile have to have. But no, not anymore. We're going to buy mobiles where you can't change the battery. How utter bullshit, Why would I ever buy a mobile I can't change the battery? You gotta be kidding me. That's insane. But of course, this world is insane. But yeah, if you can get what was this model? This is an LG. There's two models that has where you can put two SIM cards in it. Although I don't really. This is the. Let's see here what model it is. Bum, 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 bum. Where do you see the model developer? I can't even remember. So many things, and that it's just they change things here and there. And yeah, it's just impossible to follow along. Let's see, common software, hardware. Let's see, software. Yeah, so this is the DS model. You have the Hong Kong model as well. That was my first version. Then I got a cheap other one from Korea or something like that. And I really pretty much used it for I already just used it for getting my applications over to the new phone that I had. And then I made a Frankenstein mobile, but yeah. That was something, what was it? I think the glass went off or something like that. That was something problematic and had to, yeah, anyway. Or maybe this was the one that, I can't remember. That was something in regards of a glass jumping off and this and that. It's hard to remember everything. And all these things that happens and all that. But yeah, if you can get a new DS model or the Hong Kong model, those are the two that, although in regards to some of the stats, the DS seemed to say that it had a greater, I don't know if it's Wi-Fi or something like that, a greater in regards of uploading, downloading speed or whatever, something like that. I can't remember if it was, I think it was something that the 4G or the Wi-Fi, I'm not sure, where the DS version seemed to have just a little notch. I don't really know. I didn't see any difference really. So I'm not sure if there is any difference, but I got the DS version, and of course they are a little more expensive than the others, but you can have 2 SIM cards in them and so forward. So either the DS version or the Hong Kong version, both of them can pretty much run English. So I would probably prefer the DS version. That was something in regards of, but yeah, one of the versions, and you can, with some applications and tools, you can get whatever system you pretty much want for it. And I wouldn't suggest to jailbreak it, because if you jailbreak it, you will just get a sick mobile, and it can pretty much do all the things nearly that you want anyway. So of course it's always nice to actually have these extra administrative features, but they just don't want us to have be able to do what we want. They want to put all this security bullshit into these mobiles and make them unstable when you get administrator rights, which is just utter nonsense, because it should be as easy as this. If you want to get administrator rights, you should be able to get it like that. You shouldn't need to jailbreak it and use this and that software to do it and all that. It should just be a standard feature. All this security. I'm sick and tired of it. Always. Oh, but security. I don't care about that bullshit security. It's just an excuse to take things from the user, Anyway, so I got the charger. It's up here, I think, somewhere. Yeah. And so I got a new charger, so I can charge batteries at the side. Instead of needing to charge the mobile, I can just charge batteries. It's incredible how many issues has been made when we already had the things that we didn't need, fast charging mobiles, because if you can just flip the battery out, no problem, Oh, there's no more battery on the mobile. Well, just flip another battery in it, right? Like a huge, this is like a huge, gigantic, what do you call it? Like, it's incredible, right? Oh, I remember when I had this mobile with me in Israel. That must have been the second time. It's like, wow, that mobile, oh, you can change battery and this and that, right? Yeah, that was standard in the past, right? These things are still like, wow facts. Or, this is even be, oh, that's incredible, right? You can change the battery. Well, this was standard in the past. So changing battery, putting a SIM card in it, more memory, and a jack stick and all that. How hard can it be? Well, this phone wasn't sold in European nations, so that is why I got a Hong Kong version first. I ordered it from Hong Kong, and pretty expensive, but that was what I was happy for it. Absolutely was it was it was absolutely yeah, happy. It was a good choice. It was a really good choice. To pay maybe a little more than one would, and then get it from Hong Kong and all that, but it had everything, and it still is a great mobile. Although I'll see if I can get it down to Android 7 again and run it from there. Um, so, but I haven't done it yet. Is all the information here and that. You have to set things up and all that, but that would probably be the thing that running Android 7, and then the latest and the last version of Android 7, and then just not updating it and just running that and using it. So really the only other options I see is like the Fairphone 4, but there's some things that they took the jack stick out, I think. So you don't have any jack stick anymore, and of course it's running Android something after Android 8 or Android 10 or 11, and thereby you cannot record, and that's kind of nonsense. Anyway, I think I'll stop here. No one sees the videos anyway, so who cares? Um, but yeah, if you want a great mobile, although of course have its issues by being older, well, the LG V20 is a pretty good one. If you can find the charger, and if you can find the batteries in regards to Perfine, and the DS version on Amazon, you can get a pretty nice mobile. Um, but yeah, of course they are getting older and older. It's harder to get a new one in some sense, but yeah, still pretty good mobile. And again, there hasn't really anything that has come around that seems to be better. This is the last flagship with those three essential things. Then it just went downhill pretty much. And I would not suggest getting the Shift phone. It's incredible. They're selling the phone with two cameras, and only one camera works. It's yeah, it's outrageous. And also the Shift phone, they have all this thing in German and all that. And of course I was also thrown out of the forum a couple of times, which is also a problem when you try to download new versions. So the Fairphone, you have things in English at least, so you have an English community. But I haven't tried the Fairphone, but that's another option at least. And at least with the Fairphone 4, they at least have more internal space than the Fairphone 3, which just had too little. But yeah, I really don't know what to really, the LG V20 seems to be doing, of course it's old, still would be nice with some more power and all that, but yeah, there doesn't really seem to be anything else. Now that I got a so-called new one of this, as long as it works, I will continue to use this. There's really nothing on the market that seems to, of course, there's some of the neat features for the flip phones and all that, but still, if it doesn't have those three essentials, I'm kind of not that interested. It's just incredible that there's nothing really that, usually there's something, right, that you it seems okay, this seems to be, but there hasn't been since the LG V20 pretty much. I bought the Shift, which was a very expensive mobile. I bought it because I couldn't get an LG V20, and there was only two choices: the Fairphone 3 and the Shift 6MQ, and the Fairphone only had 64 GB of internal memory, and I knew that's just too little. Of course, this one still has it, but it's still too little because, when you have Bible applications and books and all that, you quickly fill up the space, which is kind of annoying. And they, Google made it so you cannot just use the memory card and all that, all this garbage bullshit and all that. One of the ways that I could actually make some more space was to download the books I have on Google and the Google application, and then put it on the memory card instead. That would be one way of at least getting some more space. But I haven't really done that yet. Should do it. I should get the books I can, download them, but apparently you cannot just download them from the mobile. You need to go on the computer and on Google and search the books out to actually download them in a PDF where you can actually just move things around. Can't do that as far as I know from the application on the mobile. You can only download them by that application, and it's just sickening as usual. Don't make it too easy for people, right? So yeah, that's a great mobile. Been very happy with it. Still have its issues with heating up and all that. Even if bigger batteries usually tended to make it, better in regards of heat not heating up, but apparently still having problems with the heating issues when recording and uploading. That seems to be a little too much for it, apparently. Although it hasn't given me a warning now, but it tends to come up here and there. You can take a blowing thing and I have a blowing thing I used last time to cool it down. But that shouldn't be necessary for things like this. But it is with this mobile. It's not perfect, but it could be worse. That's positive and negative, right? So, anything else? I don't think so. Oh yeah, we have the recorder. Oh yeah, we have the. This is the charging device. I just bought a new one some time ago, and it's a new one because I had two others, and they were working wonderful. They're working wonderful when I had them, right? But after the years, they began to have issues in regards to charging. You had to take the battery out and in again and out again and in again and out again a couple of times before it wanted to charge. That was kind of annoying. It's 8,200 milliamps. The big app, these. This is a Perfine battery, and this is the battery that is also in it at the moment. 8,200 milliamps. And again, they are a little too heavy. I do like the 6,400 better in regards of weight, and it's still a lot more than there's some gas. A standard batteries had what, 4,004? I can't remember, but it's always nice with some more battery, so you don't need to close things down and this and that, and also you could just if you need to charge or if you need to, if you use the whole battery without, plugging the mobile in, you can just fix a new battery, and you are full again. It's just a win-win situation. You don't need anything that can quick charge your mobile or anything like that. You just need to change your battery and a bigger battery. That's all you need. And also with this bigger battery, you also get the plastic protection, which is also actually, I think, a better cover from Perfine than what is standard on it. So and it hasn't taken the strength of the mobile, still haven't smashed the screen or anything like that, and it should really get more protection with the plastic. So it's really a win-win situation. You also have the second screen that's still usable, although I don't use it that much, but I have used it. It is nice when you're moving from one application to another application and so forward. It's not a bad thing. But I guess the problem is to find the batteries and the mobile and the charger. And it's some time since I did it. I think I found the charger in the US. I also have seen some in Israel. But it wasn't. It was double the price than it was in the past in regards to the chargers, but it was worth it, to get a charger again, like a whole new mobile, although a 5-year-old mobile, yet it new things, so things are working as the beginning things, and then the batteries as well, to get those big batteries, wonderful, So, and how long I could run with this mobile? Hopefully 3 years or something like that it will work. And before it begins to, be. And again, I really don't know if anything will come to replace it. It's like Windows 2000 hasn't been replaced either, There hasn't been anything that I've seen that replaces Windows 2000. It was just, it was, Windows 2000 was the paradise of computing, before everything went downhill in regards of insanity, more and more insanity, just incredible. Windows 2000 was just the best thing that Microsoft ever made. There's no question about that. Absolutely no question. Windows 2000 was awesome. Absolutely awesome. So, but yeah, we have the Linux phones that is growing as well, but still seem to be. And I don't know if I would be satisfied with the speaker either, and how it actually all would be. So, but they're working on things for sure in regards of Linux phones, and Linux phones are real Linux phones, not like Android, which is just a molested version of Linux. Linux, real Linux phones, but the powers to be, I guess, can come and ruin things as well again, That's what they tend to do, ruin everything for the user, They take the power and they decide what we can do with things, instead of actually allowing us to do whatever we want. So, anyway. So, yeah, we have the part, it looks better than it looked, I guess, some years ago, but still, it's incredible. And I'm not the only one, in regards of the LG V20 and looking out and just seeing nothing, There's still people out there in regards to the LG V20, and they just don't know what to really, what really to It's incredible. How can there not be a product that people would like to have after the LG V20? And these are the people that still have some sanity, that wants a mobile where you can change the battery and maybe have a bigger battery in it, have a SIM card in it, so you can upgrade the memory, so you can have more storage, and a jack stick, so you can listen to, music and all that. Yeah, well, or put it to a speaker if you don't want all this connection thing, all this wire, or what do you call it, all this. If you just want to run on wire and not have all this radiation, at least less, that's as much, as, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, the LG V20 is still a great mobile for 2022. If you can get the things, if you can get a DS model, get some of these bigger batteries from Perfine. I just, not the 10,500. That's way too big. Don't get that. Also had issues with the buttons with the 10,500 in regards to volume buttons. I didn't have that with 6,400 and 8,200. And 8,200 and the 6,400 are the same volume and size. One is just more weighty, it's a small weight. But they have the same size, which is, kind of interesting, but they have the same size, pretty much. It's just like a millimeter bigger, and but there seems to be some space that have being used. In any case, it's same volume. It's just, yeah, a little more weighty, more weight on it. So again, I would prefer the 6,400 in regards to weight. So, and the size is both of them are pretty good. Of course, they're the same. It's perfect actually for the hand. Okay, and then if you can get a charging thing, one of these charging things, again, you probably would need to look at Amazon or something like that, and it would probably be a little more expensive than, but thinking about it, in regards to thinking what you get and all that, then, and by the way, in regards to the USB, you need to use a standard USB and not the new USB when you, the new USB apparently doesn't, so you need to have a converter. Oh, here we go with the high temperature. And I can feel the mobile is getting hot. But that's the problem with the mobile. One of its issues, for sure. High temperature detected, device will be turned off for your safety if your temperature rises higher. Blah, 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 and all that, right? That's a problem with the mobile. It tends to overheat if you do what I do here. Sit with the video and upload at the same time. It tends to have some issues with that. So again, it's an old mobile, but that is one of the problems, that it can overheat. Also making videos, it can overheat when you do 60 frames per second videos in 720p and all. It can be done, but you can get into overheating issues. So if you're making longer videos, that's kind of a problem. There we go again. High temperature detected, device, blah 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 blah. And couldn't just give me a little warning about it somewhere. No, you have to plaster the whole message onto the whole screen, right? But yeah, I've been recording for nearly 49 minutes, and we get this thing, and yeah, and I can feel it's getting hotter. The battery in itself is getting hotter, which, as far as I recall, a bigger battery made it less. I did have a program that checked the temperature, and when you take the standard batteries, it would get very hot. The mobile could be get very, very hot. But if you actually put a bigger battery like 6400, if you just fix that into the mobile, the temperature tended to stabilize and didn't get any higher. But apparently when you use this video program and upload and all that, that's too much for it. But you could really see a difference in temperature when you go from the standard battery to a bigger battery. The bigger battery, I guess, helps it to not get so hot. But as you can see, I'm still having problems. But that was one of the things I tested in the past. I had this program, and I don't have that anymore. I guess I could install it, but then you could follow the temperature, and again, putting in a bigger battery would help it to lessen the temperature. But sadly, still having issues. Oh, it's getting hot. You can really feel the hotness with the finger. You have the finger thing, and you can really feel that that's overheating. Oh, and that's where I usually blow if I blow air on it, with a, like this. I've only done it like 2 times or something like that. So just start this thing and just, let it blow air on that specific point, where the fingerprint is, and that tends to seem to help. I don't know if one could maybe put something on the fingerprint itself to make it. Now, of course, it would probably ruin the fingerprint thing, but I do wonder if one could actually put. I'm not really using the fingerprint, so if one could actually use put what do you call it, spike things where you could still use it as a button, but like this thing of that would be, with a surface area and all that. That could be interesting if that could maybe be. I don't know what exists of these things. Could be interesting. But again, the fingerprint wouldn't then work. But again, I haven't really used that. Just use the button. Yeah. That could be interesting. Because that is really the place where it gets heated. I nearly can't have my finger on it, because it gets so hot. It's like, ooh, ow, ow, ooh, yeah, it's getting hot. Ooh, I wonder if you could actually, get burned. It gets really hot. I wonder if you could actually get burned if you continue to sit with the finger on it. It's getting hot for sure. I'm not sure. Maybe. Oh yeah. Well, it's getting hot. That's for sure. But the battery itself is also heating. You can also feel that the battery has, taken some of the heat as well. And so, yeah. Anything else? No, I don't think so. So if anyone is looking for a mobile, the LG V20 is still great if you can get it. Amazon, I think, in regards to the DS model, and also, different places of Amazon in regards of getting these things. And the last, for the batteries, I use something else, which I can't remember what it's called. But there might be some problems because they are related to Russia. And of course, if they don't make these batteries anymore in regards to the company, then it's not going to help much. But let's see. Oh, I had a hard time finding those batteries, and so that was why I ordered so many. And I'm going to, of course, use those batteries until they die, And my mobile. I do also have some of the standard batteries. But, yeah, there's really no need for using those standard batteries. Let's see if we can find. Oh, we have problems with the battery again. They usually send me some kind of... I don't sadly see any. Let's see here. They usually send me one of these emails saying, oh, you haven't this and that for some time and blah 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 blah. I don't seem to see any of the emails. No. No. Yeah, that was my finger. My finger did feel like it's a little burned. I have all the shift support thing and all that. I can pretty much delete that, you know. So where is here trash? See if I have one in trash. I don't know. I can't seem to find any. Sometimes they come with one of these advertising things, and thereby I guess I just delete them. Now I have different other things. Oh, well, when do I actually need to get this? When is the last day? Okay, I have a couple of days left to get those books. I need to really get on moving and getting those books. No. No, no, no. Nope. I can't find it. And I have some ghosting on the screen. I can see the high temperature still on the screen. You probably can't in regards to the video, but you know it's on the screen in the right here. Temperature, high temperature, right there. It's still there. So that's that's of course an issue. It's interesting that it's actually up there when the other. We're closing down.